Welcome to my Shengmilo S6 bike, which you see upside down. I'm currently doing some repairs. S600. I want to show you a couple things. I got this bike delivered without a rear light, which is really stupid. It was supposed to be here. So I have to order it. And interestingly, even though this bike came from the warehouse in Poland, they don't seem to have parts there. So just to let you know, if you order rear lights or spare parts, they'll be coming directly from China, which takes weeks to get to Germany. Weeks. It's a very slow process. So I thought this would be, I set this bike up and I thought in 2 or 3 days I'd have parts and be riding it again. So lucky me, I have a second e-bike from a German company, so I can jump. When there's an issue with batteries or repairs, I can jump back and forth. So what happens is when you have problems with lights and you want to install and uninstall, the first thing you do is you remove the battery. You then get one of these very small, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you can see it. A very small across screwdriver. You go in here and remove this part, which is the contacts for the battery. And then you can look inside. This is very hard to see in the video. There's a bunch of cables there for the front light, the engine, the drive, the back lights, etc. And you have to find the correct cable. And I cannot show you this because it's so deep in there and it's dark. But Shengmilo will show you. I think it's black, yellow, and red, which is exactly the German national flag, by the way. That makes it easy to remember. 3 tiny cables bundled together at the end with a tiny black plastic square. Black, yellow, and red, and that's for the rear light. So the good news is you can purchase a rear light and you can still install it after the fact. Now, that's not a huge issue. It's annoying, but it's not a huge issue. The main thing I want to tell you, what is a huge issue, is this dang mudguard, the rear mudguard. So the front mudguard is still here. It's a small one. It's fine. They could have made it a little bit longer here because you can see there's still a lot of mud coming this way, but it's not a big issue. There is no noise, no shattering, no metal sounds. It's not very wiggly. It's very sturdy. The rear mudguard is a frickin' nightmare. You can see here at the bottom of the frame, they correctly designed and manufactured a screw hole. I know it's hard to see. I think it's like 5 or 6 millimeters. The design is perfect. That's where it should be. However, for some weird reason, Shengmilo doesn't design their rear mudguards that way. The mudguard doesn't come down all the way to here, and there's also no screw hole in the mudguard. Instead, the mudguard ends somewhere around here. So where's the rest? Why didn't they cover this? Well, all the mud in the fall and winter season from water puddles and driving through the forest splashes into this joint. There's a rotating joint. It's a kind of fork. I don't know the English word because I'm in Germany, and but you know what I mean. And the mud gets in here from this side. You can see all the mud here, and it gets into those cracks. That's very bad. It's virtually impossible to get out. It's impossible to clean, and it's not good for rotating joints. They need to be lubricated with clean, clear oil and stuff like that. So I try to order a new one, and they don't have the correct mudguard. Shengmilo, they send you photos of a mudguard and say, oh, this is the improved version, and it's right for your bike. It's not. You look at the photos and you compare it to your existing mudguard. They're identical. They're exactly the same. The new mudguard that they supposedly designed, it does not reach down to here. It does not have a screw hole. It stops somewhere around here. And it bothered me because I precisely explained this issue to them of protecting these rotating joints, but they don't seem to get it. So I took the mudguard, which goes all the way around here, all the way to the back. And I said, well, easy fix. I will just shove it. I'll just move it into this direction, 20, 30 centimeters, and drill a hole and to reach this end point. Well, that doesn't work because this fork, these two arms, 1 and 2, they're so narrow, the mudguard won't fit. It won't fit in there. So now I have to get a metal cutter, a metal cutting device to cut away, to strip away this side and this side to make it more narrow to be able to fit through there. So this is, I mean, I know how to do these things. It's possible to do these things, but it's a nightmare. A bicycle shouldn't be that way. We don't buy cars where you have these kind of problems. So why do we have bicycles that have these problems? This should have been designed and manufactured correctly. This is too much work after purchasing and after the fact, and yeah. The next thing about the rear mudguard is, with the Shengmilo, is it's basically a percussion orchestra. Every pothole you drive through, every tree root or unevenness on the road or in the forest you drive through forces this mudguard, which goes about back to here, to jump up and down, left and right, ferociously. And in fact, it was so loud that people on hiking trails, they get scared of me. They hear me from long distance and kind of jump out of the way, which I hate. I hate disturbing other people. It was so loud, it was giving me ear aches and headaches, and I started to use anything I could find, like air bubble wrap or pieces of cloth to to stuff it in here and to stuff it in here, and to try to cushion the blows. It's a freaking nightmare. So I don't know why they can't fix this. This is an awesome bike. It's the best bike I've ever bought. I recommend you buy this bike, and I hope the newer versions do have the rear light, but you have to be prepared for putting in a lot of work to fix this rear mudguard stuff. You're gonna need some tools. You have to become inventive, or you go to your local bicycle shop and you get lucky that they might be flexible and say, well, we don't deal with Shengmilo, but that's fine. We can still find you a fitting mudguard to try to fix the problem. And those guys, those mechanics, that they do cutting and screwing and fitting and assembling and disassembling all day long, right? So they should be pretty fast at it if you don't have the time. Let me compare this to my German Kettler bike. This is the rear mudguard. It attaches once, twice, 3 times, and it goes all the way down there. It even comes down at the bottom. Where's my finger? There. And it attaches again there with a screw. And this thing is so solid, it doesn't move at all. You can't move this. It's not a complicated construction, right? I'm really twisting it and bending it to try to get it to move like this. So it's a very simple construction, and if this company can do it, why can't Shengmilo do it? I don't understand.